When it comes to the JCPOA, the nuclear deal, what we need to, I mean, personally, how I look at this is the nuclear deal in how we know it, I feel is long gone. I think when we talk about a nuclear deal, we need to be talking about something that is something new. It's a new form of just sort of bringing down tensions between the two countries. Yes, they need to have limits on Iran's nuclear deal, but the JCPOA in as we know it is no longer there simply because circumstances have changed. On both sides, the trust levels have changed. So what Pezeshkian, the new president, was kind of campaigning on and trying to kind of revive, I guess, in his term now is basically to try and improve relations with the US, with the outside world, and effectively improve the economic situation in the country. In terms of the prospects for this happening, I mean, look, we're far from the point that we were maybe, 18 to 24 months ago when things looked close. Things have escalated since then, both in the security side and the political side and the nuclear side as well. Iran's, continuing to basically ratchet up its nuclear program. So we have a lot of steps to go before we can get to a point where we can actually say, look, there is hope for some kind of deal. The fact that we have Abbas Araghchi there is a good sign because he was actually front line when it came to the talks that led to the initial 2015 deal. So that's one good thing. But one thing that has to be said when it comes to the cabinet, I mean, these are Pezeshkian's picks, but they have to now be approved by Parliament, and Parliament will start going through all of these picks from the 17th of August for the next week or two.
Right. Right. And how is this internal political backdrop in Iran impacting, or would it likely have any impact on Iran's retaliation on Israel as we seem to be counting down to that moment?
Yeah, so when it comes to this retaliation, I mean, it's incredible, the psychology behind this, because we've been hearing about this retaliation for what? It's been more than almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So in terms of why it's taking so long, I think there is this kind of, I don't know, I want to say a disagreement of some kind, or at least they're not all on the same page in terms of how they want to go about, carrying out this retaliation. You have the IRGC on one side who would be more in favor of something direct, something along the lines of what we saw in April, with this kind of this massive 300 missile and drone direct attack from Iranian soil on Israel. But then you have the government and Pezeshkian who would be more kind of favoring something a little bit more indirect. That is, through the support of its proxies, mainly Hezbollah, but also maybe directly attack some Israeli entities or, outposts in, say, the KRG or even potentially Azerbaijan, although I see that as much less likely. So you have this kind of internal dynamics there. The IRGC came out over the weekend to say this is nonsense and we're all on the same page and we're sort of waiting. And to be honest, this kind of waiting is also really having an impact here. You can see that in Israel, there is nervousness. Every day we wake up thinking, is today the day? And Western media over the last, week or so, every day we hear from US intelligence that today is the day or the next couple of days. So I think the Iranians are sort of not enjoying it, but they're playing it kind of smart in their sense. But I do imagine something is coming. We thought that it might be, they might be allowing for the 15 August talks to happen before they do anything, because we heard actually the Iranian mission at the UN saying that we don't want any retaliation to have an impact on the success of any ceasefire talks. But obviously now, as you mentioned in the opening, with Hamas being unclear of where they want to, get involved, now even that throws that into question.